Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Narelle from Simply Narelle, and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. It's been a little while since I've made a video, but I did say in the last one that I'm not going to be consistent, and I did keep thinking, yes, I'll jump on and make a video, and then I thought, oh, I haven't stitched enough to show you. Then I thought, well, it's nearly December, and with my December plans I have a plan to go, not live, I was going to say live, but I plan to do a video every day, just a little short snippet, and I'll explain why later. So I thought, well, I better get you updated on what I've been stitching before December rolls around, because it's this coming Friday is December 1st, so I don't know how we got to December already, but anyway. So if you are new here, welcome. I really appreciate you dropping by and listening to my ramblings and seeing what I've stitched on. And if you are a subscriber and you've come back, thank you very much. I know there's a squillion Flosstube channels out there that you could be watching, so I really appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Ignore my mess. This is my little office where I don't stitch in here, I stitch at the dining room table, but this is where I wrap my orders and create designs and brainstorm ideas and just basically run my business. So if you're not aware, I also have a Etsy shop and a simplynarelle.com site where I sell project bags that I make, needle minders, all sorts of stuff, as well as starting to get in a few patterns from different designers. I've got Rosewood Manor on the site right now on my simplynarelle.com store, and I've also got some dimensions kits more on the way. Anyway, so jump on, have a look. So what have I been stitching on? Well, first of all, I wanted to talk about ginger scissors. Are they ginger or ginger? Ginga? I don't know what they're called. But in my last video, I showed a chart that had something about ginger scissors, and I thought it should have been scissors. Well, guess what? They are actual scissors. So I thought the chart should say scissors. Instead it said gingers. I don't know how you pronounce it, and I'm probably mucking that up, but anyway, if I got it wrong, you know what I mean. Well, I had never heard of them, and I had a few lovely people message me and comment that they are actually scissors, and apparently very expensive scissors, been around forever, and apparently they're American. Well, in my little world here in Australia, in my little stitchy world, I'd never heard of them. Like, I thought the only expensive ones I keep seeing around are Kahanas. So there you go. Thank you for letting me know that they are actually scissors. So I'll leave that chart as it is. And every time I look at it when I'm stitching it or it's complete on the wall, I have a little giggle of my lack of knowledge. What else? Okay, I think I'm just going to jump into the stitching, and then as I think of things along the way, then I will let you know. So the last time I did a video was like October. 30th of October. Oh my gosh, was it that far ago? That long ago, I mean. Alright, I have all the things I've been working on down here in a little bag. As I finish working on them, I just chuck them in this bag. So, there's all sorts of things in this bag, including haul, which I'll get to later. Alright, so let's start with this one. Vintage shoes. This is the one I worked on the night of when I did the last video. So, you need the chart. I mean the picture. Okay. Alright, so this is vintage shoes. It's a really old Busilla kit. I've had it for donkeys, but I still really love it. And the colours, the burgundy colours in it, that's why I initially bought it, because what room was it for? My room in our bedroom in Sydney was all like the burgundy colours. So our room up here, our main bedroom up here, is the same. So I thought, well, I still can put it in my bedroom. So really like that. And yeah, it's really old. And sorry, I keep playing with my hair because I need a haircut and it's driving me insane. But anyway. And this is where I am now. Hang on a minute. Oh, I don't have any clips. I made myself a little board. Look, I'm going to actually cover it in pretty fabric on the back, and then around a little bit around the front. This is just really thick cardboard, and then a heap of 12 by 12 white scrapbook paper just glued one on top of the other. And then I'm going to top it with a layer of probably batting or felt, and it's going to be like a little mini design board for when I quilt, whenever that's going to be in the next 30 years I'll get to it. And also for holding up projects so that you can see them better. But I need a few clips, which I don't have, quilting clips I have in here, to put on top like Gary and Ronnie do from Garund Stitchery, because theirs looks really cool the way they do it. Alright, so anyway, this is Vintage Shoes, and when I worked on it last I did this bit up here and then just that long bit there. I'd already done the shoe, so there's a close-up, and in here you probably can't see it, but that's sparkly. It's like a blend. It's got like a gold filament as well as another colour, so I don't know if you can see that sparkle, but it's so pretty, so pretty. So that was Vintage Shoes. So I think I spent, that was just a night on that one. Yes, just one night on that one. No thinking about it. I got it right here in front of me, written in my book. And I seem to get a lot of stitching done because I joined a new group. What are they called? Right, I wrote it down. I have notes so I don't forget these things. Myths and Magic Stitch Wars. Now, it's not my theme thing. It's like, it's really hard. It's like witches and goblins and stuff, and you cast spells, and then you have to stitch to rejuvenate from, it's all run in clans. So there's all these like 20 odd clans. Each clan has 5 people in it. So you're in your own little team, basically. And you have to cast spells on the other clans. And for example, to cast a spell, you might need an Eye of Newt, a spleen of a crocodile, and all these different ingredients, and each ingredient has different stitch counts. So some are like 100 stitches, some are like 1,000 stitches, and then anywhere in between for all the different ingredients. So you post your starting pick and say, and then you stitch away. Actually, in our little team, because we had a little chat separate, so that we all knew what we were doing and working towards the same thing, we would post a starting pick and say, so if a crocodile spleen was 1,000 stitches, you'd say start for crocodile spleen, or start for 1,000, or whatever. And then you'd do your stitching, post another photo as a comment on that. And if you're into these game sort of things, you probably know the way it runs. They're all pretty similar. And then you post a photo of your finish stitches, and you say complete for crocodile spleen, or whatever, 1,000 completed for crocodile spleen. And then the mods of the group will go through every so often, and they will say approved, and they'll add that spleen to your inventory list. And then you've got a team leader and a can't remember what the second one was called, but like a second in charge, and then they had the power to cast spells on other teams. So they had a Google worksheet where you can see what ingredients your team has, and then the team leader and the second in charge can cast a spell on another clan. If you get hit with so many spells, like so you get hit with a spell and it's like $1,000 to rejuvenate from that spell, so you can't cast any other spells until you've rejuvenated. So you'd have to stitch for ingredients to rejuvenate. It was heaps of fun. I put a lot of pressure on myself though, and it's like I have to get all these ingredients, and I tried to get one of everything, and some nights it's like, yes, I could do one of the big ticket items like the $1,200, the 1,200 stitches or the 1,000 stitches, and it's like, yeah, go team, you know, let's get the other teams. And I did that. I think it was just about all of November. Can't remember when I started it, but it possibly even late October, and it got me really stitching. As it was late October, because I remember saying in our little team, I can't stitch because I've got a wedding to go to that night. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, and then after, you know, quite a few weeks of that, and it was getting, you know, teams were dropping out because they couldn't rejuvenate quickly enough, and you only had 24 hours to rejuvenate after you've been hit with a spell. And some teams, you know, life happens, you can't get those stitches in that night or that day. So some teams were dropping out, and then it got to the stage where we needed like 3,000 stitches or something to rejuvenate, and it's like, oh, I am so buggered, I cannot stitch anymore. Like, I would just, overnight, I'd sit and I'd stitch and go like crazy, and then it's like, oh wow, that was a really busy night. And then I'd go to bed and I couldn't sleep because I was so hyped up from stitching so much. So anyway, but yeah, so that's how I got a lot of stitching done, because I was in that group and I wanted to try and, you know, keep our clan going. In the end, we surrendered because we just couldn't get the stitches, and I sort of lost mojo and went, I just can't stitch tonight, I got a stinking headache. And then, yeah, it was like a couple of nights in a row, and I just put too much pressure on myself, I think. But it was lots of fun. I don't know whether I'll do the next round. The next round is starting in December. I think with my December plans and coming up to Christmas, I don't think I can dedicate enough time that the game actually needs. But anyway, I'll put a link to the group below. I think they're still taking members, and if you're not in a clan, then you're a villager and you stitch for things for Nurse Spirit or something. It's all, I actually found the game and the theme behind it was really confusing for me, and I didn't understand it. It's goblins and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not into that sort of stuff. But I just liked, okay, we need to get these ingredients, so I would go, okay, I'm going to do that ingredient, I'm going to stitch for it, and that's it, I'm done. The theme around the game behind it I wasn't interested in, so I didn't understand a lot of that, of what the villagers were stitching for and how they were involved. It's like, I don't want to know about that. I just want someone to tell me, here, we need these ingredients, and I will stitch for them, and then I'm happy. So I'm probably not going to continue in it. I may drop out, and I'm sure there's people coming in and out all the time, so if that sort of game interests you, I'll drop a link below to the group and you can join in, because I know there'll be at least one spot in my clan that'll be free. Okay, so the next one I did, so this was back in October. Next one I did, this is the last day of October, I did this one, Mon Ami. And you've probably seen this, if you've been here for a while, you've seen this lots of times. This is a really old one that I bought for my daughter when she was a baby. She just turned 19 last week. Anyway, so, and she's not a real girly girl. She's getting a bit more girly girl now, but for a long time was like, pink, get it away from me. Don't want to know anything, wear a dress, forget it. She hated going to school because she had to wear a dress. I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, so this is what I've done so far with this one. Now, oh gee, I'm not going to be good at putting, I don't have those clips, before photos. Let me see if I have something in my little container here. Do I have a little clip? Even if it's a hair clip. Oh look, I've got a hair clip. Will that work? Bobby pin, hair clip, here we go. Let's see if this will work. Sort of. There we go. Good old hair clip. I have to remember to get some clips in here. Okay, so when I had shown it to you last, I think I had done all this middle section was completed. So this time around I did the border. I only went this far up because obviously that's as far as I could go with it where it was on the Q-snap. I did the border, and then I did this bit down here. Now this is going to have backstitch letters over the top, Mon Ami, and it's got a more of a border to go around it. So I did that one. I'm loving how this is turning out. Now this will not, I can guarantee you, go in my daughter's room. So I think I'm going to use ones like this in my office here. So I have limited wall space because obviously I've got these great big, you know, calyx units behind me. So that limits the amount of space that I have, wall space that I have. But I do have in front of me I've got some wall space, and that's about all the wall space I've got. So anyway, I have to maybe reorganize my office. I've got a whole wardrobe, built-in wardrobe that I can't access because I've got silver shelves in front of it. But it's full of all my old scrapbooking albums, because I used to be a mad keen paper crafter. But that's all, and that's taking up a lot of these Kallax units, like from the drawers down the other end. So that's sort of, the drawers are halfway. So what you're seeing here, I've got another length the same, the other side of these drawers. And that side is full of paper crafting stuff, which I need to either use or get rid of. But I actually have, only just yesterday, I thought I need to actually get back into my paper crafting, because I've got all this stuff. And like, what am I going to do with it? It's just sitting there taking up space. So I thought I'm going to have to get back into it. And I've got another YouTube channel called Simply Stamping with Narelle, from when I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I was doing videos on there of scrapbook pages. So I'm thinking, I tested yesterday, I can still access, because it's on a different account, I can still access that channel. So I may have to start doing videos again, just to use up the stuff that I've got, because seriously, thousands of dollars worth of paper craft stuff, and it's just sitting there. So that's ridiculous. Anyway, okay, so, oh, wait a minute, I've skipped one. Next one I worked on was my peacock, which is in here. And it's not in a proper project bag, because it's just about finished. And I'm not finishing it yet, because I'm waiting for my next year's plans, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. Alright, so the next one I worked on, oh my gosh, it's so scrumpled, is this peacock. Now this is from, oh my gosh, this is from Ultimate Birds magazine. I don't know when the date is, but I started this one a while ago. And this is in honour of our neighbourhood peacock. We have a peacock that comes around regularly and sets my dog barking when it does its little call out thing. But anyway, it's, you know, ever since we've moved in, basically, it's been around. We got the shock of our life one day. Not long after we moved in, a few months afterwards, we came home, and we were driving down the street and about to turn into our driveway, and I looked across the road and I went, there's a peacock in our front garden. And it was right in front of the windows here. The windows there. My office. And I went, what? It's a peacock. And then, you know, it's been around every day just about since. It'll disappear for a month or so and then come back. Anyway. So, it's been on our roof. It's just a neighbourhood thing now. It's a fixture of the neighbourhood. Alright, so this is where I am on peacock. It's nearly finished. So all the cross stitching is done. It's all the full and partial cross stitches. And now the only thing left is the back stitching. And me and back stitching do not get along very well. So I have to be in the right mood to do the back stitching. Hence why I haven't done it yet. And plus it was for part of the that group that I was doing, and I had to get so many stitches and stuff, and I hate having to count back stitch. It's just too hard. So I've left this, and this is going to stay where it is until next year, and I'll tell you why later when I get to my plans. So that's the peacock, and once all that back stitching is done, it's going to look absolutely awesome. So that's my peacock, and I just so loved working on this. Now that's a restart. If you're new here, I think that's my third time I restarted. First time I made a huge mistake. Actually, I have a couple of restarts here. This is where I had got to on my last restart. First time I started it, I was doing it 1/1, hated it, couldn't see it. Just bleh. And then I restarted it 2/2 on 25 count, but I had made, and this is where I packed it in and started again the last time. I'd made some sort of massive mistake here, and these things just weren't, actually you can just compare it, they weren't looking like they were meant to be looking. So I restarted on 18 count Ada, and I'm going to try and hold this up and this up, and you can see in the tail. Alright, so look here. Alright, this section here, what they look like compared to what they look like. Yeah, they're just a mess. They don't do the same. There's no, this is a really weird shape, and it's missing colours, and these are just so different, and that's what it's meant to look like. So it's amazing when you don't make a mistake. It actually looks like the pattern. Yeah, so that's my peacock restart, and I'm going to hopefully have a peacock wall, because I've got a few other peacock things in my whips as well. So that was peacock, and I worked on him. I don't know why it's a him, but it's a him. Wow, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 nights to get peacock to that stage. Then the next one I worked on is Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, and apparently this was free during the pandemic that I didn't know about. It was only when a few people started showing it on Instagram or talking about it on their YouTube videos, I went, hey, what's this pandemic thing? And it was already no longer free. And this is what I call my bed sheet, because it is absolutely huge. I'm doing it on 25 count 2/2, so massive. I'm sorry, I got a frog, goodness. And I had thought of restarting this, but I've decided I'm going to make it into a quilt. So this is what I have so far. This is so awkward to try and show, sorry. I'm going to try my best. Oops, there's the camera, there it is. So keep going, I need to stand up for this, hang on a minute. Alright, so it's fantastic. I'm doing it just all in 310, and I'm going to keep the 2020 in it because it's pandemic, so the whole reason it was created was because of the pandemic. Right, and I think I don't know where I was, but I was like down, where was I, down here somewhere. I got nearly a page done, or maybe I did finish the page and started the next one. But I got quite a lot of this done. This was a fantastic whip to work on for that game group. It's easy stitching, it was really quick. Yeah, so this was fantastic for that challenge group, and I think going forward, if I join any groups like that, then this is the sort of project that I'm going to pick, because you're not changing colours, it's the one colour, it's nice, quick, easy, full stitches. I love it. So those sort of things, you can get a lot of stitches done in a really short period of time. So that's my bed sheet of Pandemic. I actually put somewhere in a group or a comment somewhere, I said something about it being a bed sheet, and someone said, why do you call it a bed sheet? Because it's the size of a bed sheet. It's ridiculous. Anyway, and I wrangle with it every time I put it on the Q-snap. It's like, oh gosh. Okay, now that was it. Oh, except for last night I worked on Anne Morrison. I finished a secret stitch, which I'm going to show you in a second. And well, I did bring Anne Morrison booklet in. What did I do with it? No, obviously I didn't. Thought I did. I had it in my hand. I've put it down somewhere and now I've lost it. Because I had it in my hand when I was walking around the house collecting what I needed for this video. And now I have lost the booklet. So I'm sorry. Anne Morrison. Yeah, I don't know where she's gone. Hands Across the Sea is what it is. And yeah, I don't know where the booklet is. I will pop a picture in to show you what it looks like. Just looking around. Did I leave it somewhere when I was looking? I don't know. Alright, so this is still on the Q-snap because that's where I was working last night. So I did this. I had done that row. So this is a new page here. And I'm nearly finished the page. I didn't do it all last night, but I worked these pale blue letters. No, I didn't tell a lie. They were already in. I did this burgundy row, these ones here and these here, and again this is going to be massive because it's 25 count even weave, because I bought a whole bolt of it and I accidentally ordered the wrong thing. But anyway, I meant to get 28 count and I ordered 25, but it is what it is. So last night I finished my secret stitch, I'll show you in a minute. And then I didn't know what I felt like stitching on. Nothing really was calling my name. So I messaged Laura from I Stitch Birds and said pick a number between 1 and whatever it was, 46 or something. Don't pick 3, which was the peacock, and don't pick something else, which was the full coverage, because I didn't have the strength to do the full coverage last night. It was late. It was like 10 o'clock or something. And she picked 17, which was this one. So this is Anne Morrison in her entirety of what I have completed so far. And I'm chopping that off. Wait a second. So this is going to be a really big one too. I see other people who've, you know, finished theirs, because this was a stitch along a few years ago from Traditional Stitches. It was an exclusive for them in Canada from Hands Across the Sea. So I bought it because I really loved it. And this is my first Hands Across the Sea sampler, my first sampler of any sort. And they all stitched it when the stitch along was happening, but I didn't start mine until like last year or something, so maybe the year before. So that is it. So it is quite long. Oh my gosh, I need to get a longer arm. So that is one column basically. So I'm doing it in the pages, and yeah, I really love it. The colours are just gorgeous. So that is Anne Morrison at the moment. I'll work on this one again tonight, I think. Or maybe I should go back to what my original plans were for November, which I totally forgot about until last night, after I'd asked Laura to pick something for me to stitch. And then I looked in my book and went, oh look, I'm meant to be finishing Whipco. Because, typical me, I failed miserably with Whipco. Put that on the cue step later. Hang on a second. Sorry, just putting the arm things back on my cue start. I'll do it quickly. Okay. Alright, so November, I was meant to be working on Whipco. And this is where my Whipco stands at present. I stopped around March. I just went, oh, I don't know. I hate being told that I have to work on something. Well, I used to hate being told I had to work on something if I didn't feel like it. But now I had a change of attitude, and it's like, well, it's a whip. It has to get stitched at some time. If I don't like the project, or it's not my favorite project, there's never going to be the right time to stitch on it. So being told I need to stitch on it is actually a good thing, because it means I'm getting progress, and it means I'm getting closer to it being finished. And then it's no longer I don't want to stitch on this anymore, because it's finished and I can do something else. So this is where my Whipco was, and in October, September, somewhere like that, I decided that I would work on finishing my Whipco board, because I had nearly 10 months or more to catch up on. So I've done pretty good, and then I forgot about it when I started my secret stitching I was doing. I totally forgot about that I was meant to be finishing this. So the ones that I had finished recently were because of that Myths and Magic Stitch Wars game. I was working through these, and that's what I was stitching on for the game, and it worked really well. And then I forgot about it. So I think what I'm going to do now is go back to this, because some of these only have a few days. Well, each goal I've got on Whipco is 5 days. So there's 5 little boxes under each one. I'm changing that to a session. So next year going forward, I'm making that 5 sessions, not 5 days. So that gives me a little bit more flexibility, because next year I've got quite a lot of plans, and I will run out of time to do my own stitching I need to for my business if I keep it at 5 days. So it needs to be 5 sessions. So I'm going to go back to this. Like Crinoline Lady has one session left on her. So, you know, I could finish that with Go tonight. So I'm going to go back. I've got basically just a few days to get these done, because December I have all my new starts happening. So we'll see. I'm probably not going to get this done, but well, actually I might be able to do more of these, because if I do, you know, a new start and then the next day, if I alternate a couple of days of a new start and then one of these, or do both in a day, do a new start for a couple of hours and then one of these, I might still get it done. We'll see. Because I've got 20 new starts in December, so I can't alternate. I'm going to run out of days. Anyway, what else? Oh, going back to that peacock. There is a Sal stitch along at the moment, a pretty peacock Sal. I'll put it down below. And that is Linda and Leroy and Patchy Pony Stitcher running a sale of peacocks. So I saw that and I was working on the peacock that night, and I went, oh, I'm jumping in on your sale, because I'm actually working on a peacock, and I've got a few other whips that are peacocks as well, and a new start coming, so I'll always have a peacock to stitch on for a while anyway. Okay, so what else? Okay, so the thing that I was stitching on for December, my secret little stitch that I couldn't actually share anywhere, and I'm just going to show it really, really quickly, is this. Here we go. Now this is going to be turned into a pillow. So I designed this for my Project Bag of the Month Club, and this is the December pattern that you'll be getting in your club bag. So that I need to finish today. I have, if you're not aware, a Project Bag of the Month Club. I actually have two. And if you're a long time viewer, you'll know that I had the original one and then I changed it to a smaller one. I got inundated with messages, please bring back the original bag. We loved it. We love the size of it. So I've brought that back. I'll pop a link below, so that you know what I'm talking about. These are my project bags. Ignore my big tag hanging off. That's just for me, so I know in big, big writing what's in the bag. So this is a past club bag for the original Project Bag of the Month Club. And on my listings on Etsy, I've now got on the photo so you can quickly see. I've got the size. So it's got Project Bag of the Month Club, and they have different pictures, so they're easier to differentiate. Project Bag of the Month Club, 12 by 12 inch full fabric zippered bag. That's this one. Okay, not this pattern, this is a past fabric, but these are the bags. So 12 by 12 lined zippered project bag, and this one I just lined with navy blue. So with this 12 by 12 project bag, you also get with it a cross stitch pattern, hence that one I've just designed, because all the bags are themed, so each month it's a different theme. And I only ever do the December bag in a seasonal theme. So December will always be a Christmas themed bag. Every other month is just whatever pretty fabric I find that I like, that I think you might like. So the fabric then determines the theme, so that will determine the cross stitch pattern that I create, the needle minder I create. I won't do bunny rabbits, or at Easter I won't do 4-leaf clovers in March. I won't do love hearts in February. I won't do Halloween in October, those sort of things. The only one that I do that's themed like that for the season is December. What else? So in the bag, in the club, in the 12 by 12 bag club, you get a project bag, obviously, like I've just shown you. You get a cross stitch pattern, you get a needle minder, you get a skein of floss, you get something sweet to eat, suck on, whatever, and some sort of beverage. So the only caveat is, North American ladies, I cannot send you tea, because I normally include a sachet of tea or iced tea or something, but I can't import tea into the States. I can't export tea to America. It's prohibited by law. So you'll get a hot chocolate instead, just so that you know. That's the only difference. You will get the needle minder, you will get the pattern, the floss. You'll get everything else except for that you won't get the tea. Coffee, I don't know. I need to look into the rules again about exporting coffee to the States. But I know tea is prohibited by law, so I cannot export tea. And I have to put it on the customs forms that they know there's tea in there, and they'll just reject it and they'll throw the parcel away. So I don't want you paying and then not receiving your goods, so you know you won't get the tea. All right, so that's the 12 by 12 Project Bag of the Month Club. It's $40 Australian plus shipping. And know that if you're in the States or elsewhere in the world, that the invoice coming from me is in Australian dollars. So I actually had someone get quite abusive because it was $80 odd for her in Australian dollars, because when she purchased it, that was the exchange rate plus the shipping. That's what it came to, and she got really irate. And I went, hang on, that's what you paid for the first one. That's the exchange rate. You're paying $24 shipping. That's the standard rate to the States. I can't help that, so I'm really sorry. You don't like that, but that's the cost. So what I'm going to do going forward is your invoice will have the $40 Australian plus the shipping, and then when you go to pay it, it will convert it to whatever it is American, because then there'll be no misunderstanding and no one will get upset and no one will think that I'm trying to charge them 80 odd bucks US for a bag. Like, anyway. Yeah, so the other club bag I have, Project Bag of the Month Club I have, is the standard bag. So this is the size, again, ignore the tag. This is the size of the standard bag. It's 12 inch by 9.5 inch normally. This is not a past fabric from a club. This is just a William Morris run that I had. Yeah, so this is the standard bag. Now with that standard bag, again, on the icon on the Etsy listing, it will have 12 by 9.5 full zippered fabric bag. But with this one, you don't get any extras. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's just $25 for the club. Oh God, I have to think now. And that you just get the bag. That's it. You don't get any extras with that. So that's the standard bag size for that club bag. All right. So what else? All right. So I have to keep saying all right. One more thing I wanted to show you stitching wise, and I haven't stitched on this because I am really slack and got totally sidetracked, and you think I should. Coming up to the end of the year and going into a new year, a lot of people like to do temperature charts. So I have a few I'm in the middle of designing and there's just not enough hours in the day and I haven't finished them, I'm sorry. But I currently do have this one. So this is called Temperature Bobbins. You can find it in my Etsy store. And it's just basically your spools of, like your bobbins of thread. And it's meant to look like a variegated thread with the different temperatures. So you've got, because I'm in Australia, we have a really hot summer and start of the year. So we've got the really hot temperatures, then we go down to the more milder. This is winter. We don't get a terribly cold winter, so that's as cold as it got, those darker colors in there. And then we start to warm up again towards the end of the year, and then, you know, November, December, that they're really hot months as well. So I have not kept up with this, really slack, and now I can't find it. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? I found it. So I'm doing this on Aida. Now you can do it on Aida, but it's probably better to do it on linen or even weave, and the reason is some of these words like even weave are over one. So I've had to fudge them on Aida. I didn't even think when I started on Aida. Oh, duh. It's my own pattern, you think I'd pick that up. So it is possible to do them on Aida. It's just a little bit trickier. So I'll show you how I did even weave. Hopefully you can see that. So it's not too bad. But that's where I am on mine. I am January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I've done September. So you can see we didn't have that hot a summer, really. and we've had a lot of a colder run and milder temperatures through the middle of the year, which we normally don't have, because I'm in Brisbane, so it's quite humid all the time. So we had a lot of a much colder winter, I think, this year. So we're coming into now the summer months here. We've got October, November, December to go. So that's sort of spring, and then December, 1st December starts summer. So I need to finish that off. But if you're interested in doing a temperature chart, I have that one in my Etsy store. Yeah, so if I have quite a few patterns now in my Etsy store, PDF downloads. If ever there's a problem with a pattern, please contact me before you leave feedback. I had a lady leave some not so nice feedback, and there was an error in the charting. It was ignoring the first page of the color symbols because of the box of text above it, and I don't know why. It's never happened before, but on that particular pattern it was happening. So I rejigged. I just took out that text box of information, and then it picked up the symbols fine. Now on my full coverage patterns in particular, I do say they're Pattern Keeper compatible. I don't have Pattern Keeper. I have the iMarkup, which is the iPad Apple version, and they load okay in there. So I have to assume they're going to load okay in Pattern Keeper. So if ever there's a problem with any of my charts that you download and install, please contact me via Messenger. I like to sort the problem out before you leave me not so nice feedback, because like every designer has to start somewhere, and I'm only new at designing. So if it works okay for me, I have to assume it works okay for everyone else, and I'm not aware of the differences in the applications. So please be gentle with me, and I always encourage the opportunity to fix a problem or to help you out before things have to get not so nice. Okay, anyway, I refunded that lady. It was like $3 a pattern, so I refunded her. She was very appreciative. So I just thought, well, it has to work two ways, you know, like, anyway, I'm not going to go any further with that. What else do I want to talk about? The other thing I want to talk about, I have started a Facebook group. I know there's a squillion out there. Every designer seems to have one. Every Flosstuber seems to have one. There's lots of groups out there already. But I started one. Why not? It's partly also a record for me, because I am really bad at remembering when I stitched on things, when I started things, all that sort of stuff. So if I have a group where I'm putting that sort of stuff in for myself, then other people might be interested too. It's going to be is a very friendly community of like-minded people who like cross stitch. There's freebies that we've loaded up that you come across. Anyone comes across a freebie, as long as it's not a copyright illegal copy, feel free to add it to the group. Anything I stumble across that I see, like sales or opportunities to win stuff, like legit opportunities, free stuff, I'll load it into the group. I'm going to have the occasional group only sale on my Etsy store, things like that. Freebie charts I'll create, all sorts of things. So you can share your work in there. I don't care. The only caveat is if it's got swear words on it, please put the picture as a comment, because a lot of people might get offended if they see that scroll, up on their feed. Other than that, I'm not a designer snob. I'm not a fabric snob. You don't just have to be a linen stitcher. You can stitch on 10 count Aida and do, something really simple like a cactus, whatever. If that's what floats your boat and that's what you like stitching on, share it in my group. Don't care. At the moment, I've got links open. So if it gets too heavy where someone's spamming with, if they've got their own shop and they're spamming stuff every day, every couple of hours, links to their shop, then I'll put a stop to that. But we want it to be a nice, easy group where you go in there, no fuss, no hassle, So I'll link that below as well. It's called Simply Stitching. And now plan. I've got haul and then plans, okay? So, haul. I can't help myself, and Traditional Stitches had another exclusive from Hands Across the Sea. I'm going to take it out of the plastic bag. Martha Walmsley. Is this Traditional Stitches? No, this is Hobby House Needleworks, sorry. Hobby House Needleworks had a exclusive Martha Walmsley, Hands Across the Sea. Look at that. It is stunning. And if you know me, you know I love flowers. And I love any sampler with a gorgeous border. So for me to stitch a sampler, most often it has to have a really beautiful border. Look at this. Check that out. Oh, I can't see what I'm showing you. Look at that border. Those flowers. So it's a bonus of what's a double whammy. It's got gorgeous flowers and it's got a stunning border. I love it. No plans on when to start this. It won't be next year because I've already got all those plans sorted. Well, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so I got that, and it's not cheap buying it from the States, but the good thing is Nicola from Hands Across the Sea was very generous and said if anyone from overseas wants to purchase the chart, then she will ship it from England at a flat rate of like $3 shipping. That is awesome. So of course I jumped on it because I'm like, oh, that makes it affordable if I don't have to pay an exorbitant amount in shipping. And I get it. Like, people don't want to buy off me sometimes with my Etsy shop because the shipping, but that's the state of affairs these days, unfortunately. But when that was too good a deal to pass up. All right, what else? I also have been, I'm a sucker for a series, and as you know, who are they? Cottage Garden Samplings had the series, where's the first one? This one. They had this Snowman Collector series, and that was the first one. So I got them all. I was on auto ship from a stitch in time at Hobart, Tasmania. And I had them all up until a certain month. So this is them all. You've probably seen them everywhere, but I'm going to show them all anyway. So the Postman, the Scarecrow, and the Gardener. And this is where I had got up to. I'm sorry, that arm's still a bit dodgy. I have actually little caveat, little note thingy here. I've had a problem with this arm probably for the last 8 months. And I went to the doctor. Finally, I had before seen her, and she gave me exercises to do. Then it got too painful to do the exercises. So when I was there last time, a week or so, a couple of weeks ago, I said, okay, I can't lift this arm. I'm in constant pain. What is going on? She sent me for an ultrasound and an x-ray. And apparently I had 3 things wrong. I've got a tear, a tendon tear. It's only really tiny, 2 to 3 mil, she said, but it's still causing me pain. Bursitis and a bit of arthritis. So the bursitis apparently is an inflammation of where your bones join together. There's a little fluid sac or something in there. Anyway, that was inflamed and that's why it was very sore. So I had to have, she said, okay, you got to go have that needle. Tell you what, that was painful. He was, God, anyway, won't go there. And 4 or 5 days later, you're meant to be better. No pain. Well, it's meant to be, yeah, no, that didn't really happen. I still have pain with it. It is a bit better, but I do still have pain in there. And then I've got this pain here, which I think is from the tendon tear. So I have to do rotator cuff exercises to strengthen the muscles. You can't fix that repair, that tear won't fix itself, won't heal itself apparently. Who knew? I didn't know. I thought it would. Anywhere else you cut yourself, it's going to heal. Well, apparently it's not going to heal itself. I just have to strengthen the muscles around it. But I am still in pain, so, and I still don't have proper movement. So sorry, that was a little extra little thing. Okay, so the Gardener. This is where I was. And then I got an invoice for, oops, that's rather wrong. Got an invoice for the last 3, and I went, hang on, I don't have 7, 8, 9. And I remember seeing this one of these, because I laughed at it, and I'll show you when I get to it. It was so hysterical. Anyway, so Carolyn had realised that she'd missed invoicing me for 7, 8, 9. So I got these. So she quickly invoiced me, I paid it, and I got the rest of them. So this is 7, the Coachman. This is 8, the Farmer. 9, the Pirate. It's not really my style, but I'm going to stitch them because they're cool. So this is the one I remember seeing online, and I'm sure a lot of people were thinking the same and no one actually said it. But the first thing I saw when I said this is that cow doing a and I think it is. Someone explained to me that it's meant to be a cow sitting on a hay bale and going, no, I'm sorry, but that looks like the cow is having a bodily function of some sort. Anyway, that one cracks me up. So when I come to stitch this, I'm going to be in giggles the whole time. So that was the Countryman. Then we've got the Witch. And the last one, the Pilgrim. Now, oh no, I have low battery mode just come up on my phone. Oh gosh. All right, I'm going to quickly finish this off. Okay, they have a new series starting next year of houses. I do have an account with Yarn Tree and I can get them myself, but I've signed up for that series again with A Stitch in Time, supporting another local shop. So anyway, right now quickly, more haul. So on a D-Stash group, I can't pass up a good Mirabilia. Queen Bee, Rapunzel, so this is my latest haul. Cassiopeia, beautiful, and Lady of the Mist, gorgeous. I love them. All right, so really quickly, plans for December. 20 starts in December, and I have them all wrapped up. Oh, sorry, look at my dodgy old t-shirt. Oh, that's really bad. I have them all wrapped. There's one bag, and here's another bag, all wrapped, ready to go. So I can't pick a favorite. I just have to grab one and then see what's in there and then start that. So that's December plans. And then next year is my 3 Whip Go boards, which I've been through before, but I've also joined a group called Whip Warriors, which I'll link below. And I don't have time now, my phone's going to go flat, to go through how that runs, but jump in there. The mods have done a few videos explaining how it works, and I'm going to start participating in January. But basically the idea, the preface behind the group is that you're encouraged to work on all your whips. So there's 3 different tracks you can take. No new starts, 24 and 24, which is you work on 24 whips in 2024. And then the third one is stitch what you want when you want, which is what I'll be doing. And yeah, so jump in the group. I'll link it below. It's lots of fun. And I'm sorry I have to quickly go because my phone's going to go flat and it's going to cut me off. All right, anyway, thank you for joining me. Oh, now my tummy's rumbling. I hope you didn't hear that. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again sometime soon. Well, I will. 1st of December, I'm going to come back. My December starts. That's what I want to say. My December starts. I'm going to do a little video of opening what is going to be my new start. Then the next video, the next day or so, will be this is how far I got on that one, and then this is the next one I'm starting, and then keep going on like that. That's the plan, okay? So don't hold me to it because it may change. Anyway, thank you for popping by. Have a wonderful stitching time. Work on what you want, and be happy about it. Buy everything you want, and yeah, start all the things. Thanks for dropping by, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.